Tuesday, I do my last radio show of the year. I thought I was going to sneeze then. Hello again, welcome back to the Sunday Update. I'm Lucas, as ever, and I hope you're doing well. Now, I'm a little bit at a loss for things to talk about this week, because it's very work-centric at the moment. I've got my first deadline coming up on Friday, the 11th of May. If you're watching this on time, then it's this coming Friday. If not, well, you missed it. So everything's just a little bit geared up towards that at the moment. And by the way, I haven't mysteriously tanned over the last week. The lighting's just different. The sun is absolutely ruining this vlog at the moment. Curse you, sun. But I've been talking so much about my work, I figured it's only right and proper if I actually show you it. Exhibit A. In here is the entirety of my final project for my composition portfolio. There must be about 30-40 sheets of music in there, which I've entirely written, and I haven't entirely finished writing either. Yay. I've been working on this for the best part of the last 2 months or so. Maybe even more than that, quite frankly. It feels like this has been such slow progress, but when you see how nice it looks, and unfortunately it's going to be the wrong way around for you guys, so sorry. I'm really proud of it. I wish I could flip that round. And all these little coloured tabs you see down the side are all the parts I've had to make as well, because everyone needs a part. And all of these sheets of paper will exist for about another 2 days or so, because as soon as I've given these to players for a rehearsal we've got coming up, I'm then going to get rid of all these parts. Recycle, of course, recycle. I'm going to recycle all these parts and get them properly printed, because money. As a little appendix to Exhibit A, this folder, which is even thicker, holds all of the ideas I had to write for that composition. So Exhibit B. This is an unfinished score and notes, lots and lots of notes, for my film music project, which is due a week and a half after my composition portfolio. There's a lot of notes, and it's really tough. So for reference, that is all my actual composition, and that is all the notes. And all the notes include general themes for the scene. I'm scoring a scene of Mice and Men, for those of you who've seen it, and a frame-by-frame analysis of what happens in each scene. It's my favourite thing. And once my composition portfolio project's finished, I'm going to have to go into a studio and record all of those parts, and then edit them, and master them. And finally, Exhibit C. You'd think this would be the easy part. Someone's already written all the music for me, I just have to play it. Well, it's not. So I'm playing 2 pieces for my recital. One of them is Steve Reich's Violin Phase, and one of them is Vaughan Williams' The Lark Ascending. You might have heard this one. This one's the one that's always on Classic FM. They present very different challenges to me. This one is an absolute rhythm fest, because, as you might gather from the title Violin Phase, the music phases. It gets in and out of time with itself. And when you've been brought up to play music in time for 15 years now, it's very difficult to then teach yourself to play out of time. Whereas this, I've basically just got to play it as melodically as possible. Or in other words, stark contrast to this one. And that deadline is the 1st of June. So it's all just a little bit too close for my liking. And yeah, those 22 days will decide 80 to 100 credits of my final year, which counts for 2/3 of my degree. I'm totally not panicking. There was also a dissertation deadline this past Thursday for any music students doing a dissertation, and the stress I've seen them go through, I'm now very glad I didn't do one. But it has led me to think about workloads, because a lot of people say that music is a DOS subject. I use that exact phrase because that's the exact phrase I've heard many times from quite a few of my friends from back at school. I am almost certain that we will have had more late nights doing work than most people at university. For example, I'll use my composition portfolio. I changed one tempo marking, saying crotchet equals this, to a tempo, stay the same. And that buggered the entire formatting, and I've got to go through and rescore all of those now. I've got to go through each part, find it, correct it, make sure it hasn't influenced the score. Something as simple as that can easily take half an hour, just because I changed a word. Then you've got to worry about the printing, because the printers just don't like our music programs. You've got to worry about the binding, because the binding is not fun. The rehearsing, the performing, there's a lot to do. And I know we don't have 32 hours of contact time a week, being in lectures 9 till 5 every single day and all that. But honestly, there are times when that'd feel a lot easier than this, especially because so much of it is independently driven. So yeah, it's pretty tough, is what I'm trying to say. But it has a knock-on effect as well, which is something I've just started noticing over the last week or so, really. Missing out on a lot of socialising. Now, I'm no social butterfly. I very much like to stay within the circles that I know and that I trust. But even beyond that, I've seen a lot of people, for example, Thursday night, when people had finished their dissertations, handed in at 12 o'clock, and people were going out for drinks and all that to celebrate. And I couldn't do it, because I had work to do, I had stuff to adjust and print and write. There was so much I had to do that I couldn't justify to myself going out. And there are times when I can. I did it yesterday, for example. I took some work with me, in all fairness, so it didn't feel like a complete waste of time work-wise. But it's starting to get to the point where the people that are not doing these things, they're having these social occasions, and now I can't make them, and it's starting to have an impact on, not quite an impact on my well-being, but I'm noticing it, certainly. And I'm not saying I'm down about it, because I've not reached that point yet. But I have noticed that I can't make them, and it is sad. Of course it's sad, because the reality is, most of these people, in a couple of months' time, I'm not going to see them possibly ever again. You know, it'll be a long time before I see some of them, and probably a fairly long time until I see most of them. So I'd like to be out going and doing these things, but there's just too much to do that I can't let myself yet. And I'm in a better position than a lot of people because I started so early, and I've still got this at the end of the day, so I guess I'm lucky in a way. I suppose sometimes it just doesn't feel like that. I didn't really want to talk much about what else was going on this week, because truth be told, aside from work, it's been very quiet. So instead, just before we finish up, I'll run you through what's going on next week, because next week is going to be... Tuesday, I do my last radio show of the year, and then after that, it's the station manager elections to find out who's running the station next year when I'm not here. And then Wednesday evening, it's the awards night for the Radio Society for Fuse FM. I'm down for 2 awards, Best Presenter and Best Music Show. I haven't decided if I'll vlog it there. I probably won't. I'll probably just tell you what happened once I got back here. But I'll see, I guess. Friday, 2 things happen. One of them... Well, I was going to say one of them is more important than the other. They're both fairly important. My composition portfolio is performed and handed in, and it's my birthday. So it'll be a day of contrasting emotions, that one. And then Saturday, I'm going back to Sheffield for the day, hopefully doing a concert. I haven't had confirmation of that yet, but hopefully. And also going back just to see family for a day. And then I'll come back up Saturday evening. I'll be back here on Sunday, ready to tell you what happened. Never stops. Never. But that's probably about it for me on a slightly shorter than usual vlog, because I probably need the time to go and work now. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe, I guess. Yeah, you can subscribe. If you just watch them all, I don't mind that either, but you know. Figures. And as ever, I've been Lucas, you've been great, and you've been watching the Sunday Update. Thank you very much, and take care.